You know that look your dog gives you? The one that makes you stop and think, wait, do they actually understand what I just said? Maybe you've said something like, we're going to the park, and suddenly they're bouncing with excitement. Or maybe you've whispered, I'll be right back, and they seem to calm down, as if they actually got it. Here's the thing, they do understand more than you think. And not just words, but emotions, intentions, even the smallest changes in your behavior. Today, we're uncovering the fascinating truth behind how much your dog really understands. Backed by science, proven by real studies, and felt every single day by people who share their lives with these incredible animals. By the end of this video, you'll never look at your dog the same way again. They understand our words, not just our tone. For years, people believed dogs only understood the tone of our voice, not the actual words we say. You know, like when you say bath time in a cheerful tone, and they still run away. But science has changed that idea completely. A groundbreaking study from Eötvös Loránd University in Hungary used brain scans to measure how dogs process human speech. The results were mind-blowing. Dogs actually use both sides of their brain to understand us. The left side interprets the words we say, and the right side processes the tone. That means when you tell your dog, good boy, in a happy voice, their brain lights up twice. Once because of the familiar word, and again because of your emotion behind it. So, yes, your dog really knows what walk, treat, or ball means, and they also know when you mean it. It's not magic, it's connection. The kind that only forms when two species have lived side by side for thousands of years. They know when you're happy or heartbroken. Here's where it gets even deeper. Dogs don't just recognize your words, they understand your feelings. Research has shown that dogs can read human facial expressions and emotional cues. In one study, dogs were shown pictures of human faces. Happy, angry, sad, and neutral. And they could tell the difference. Their heart rate even changed depending on the emotion they saw. You've probably noticed this yourself. When you cry, your dog quietly comes to sit beside you. When you're laughing, they wag their tail and bounce around, feeding off your joy. That's not coincidence, that's empathy. Your dog feels what you feel because they're emotionally wired too. They've evolved alongside humans for so long that reading our emotions has become part of their survival and their love language. So when you're hurting and your dog curls up beside you without a word, that's not random comfort. That's their way of saying, I see you, I know, and I'm here. They understand your routine better than you do. Ever wonder how your dog somehow knows when it's time for dinner, or when you're about to leave the house, even before you do? It's not just luck or coincidence. Dogs have an incredible sense of pattern recognition. They don't wear watches, but they pick up on tiny clues we don't even realize we're giving off. Maybe it's the way you grab your keys, the sound of your shoes, or even the scent of coffee you make before heading out. Dogs connect those subtle details and predict what comes next. They'd probably say, I know you're leaving before you even say goodbye. In fact, some dogs can even tell time in their own way. Studies show that dogs can sense how long their owner has been gone based on changes in scent intensity around the home. The longer you're gone, the fainter your scent becomes. And that's how they know how much they've missed you. So when you come home and they greet you like it's been forever, it's because to them, it truly has. That they understand fairness and feel jealousy. Here's something wild. Dogs actually have a sense of fairness. In a fascinating study, 2 dogs were asked to perform the same trick. One dog got a treat as a reward, and the other got nothing. What happened next was pure emotion. The dog who didn't get the treat stopped cooperating and refused to continue. Sound familiar? It's the same reaction humans have when we feel cheated or left out. That study proved dogs not only understand fairness, but they also feel jealousy. If you've ever petted another dog and noticed your dog try to squeeze in between you two, that's jealousy in action. They understand when attention is divided. They know when they're not the center of your world for a moment. And yes, it stings a little. That's how deeply dogs understand social and emotional dynamics. They don't just exist in our world. They feel their place in it. They can read your eyes, literally. Dogs are the only animals known to follow human gaze naturally. That means when you look in a direction, your dog often looks there too. Not because they're curious, but because they understand that your eyes mean something. They read our gaze the same way humans read each other's, as a way to understand what we're thinking or feeling. This is actually one of the biggest differences between dogs and wolves. While wolves avoid direct eye contact, dogs seek it out. It's their way of bonding with us, reading our minds, and connecting emotionally. And when you and your dog lock eyes for a few seconds, something magical happens. Both of your brains release oxytocin, the love hormone. It's the same chemical that bonds mothers to their babies. So next time your dog stares into your eyes, don't look away. That's their version of saying, I love you and I understand you. They understand our actions, not just commands. Dogs are natural observers. They don't just listen to what we say. They study what we do. For example, if you put on your running shoes, they know a walk might be coming. If you grab a towel, they might hide because it usually means bath time. They've learned to associate your actions with outcomes. But it goes even deeper. Dogs can actually tell the difference between intentional actions and accidents. In one experiment, scientists pretended to drop food on purpose sometimes and accidentally other times. The dogs behaved differently depending on the situation, waiting patiently when it looked accidental, but showing frustration when they believed it was on purpose. That means dogs don't just respond to our behavior. They understand intent. They can tell when we're teasing, being serious, or making a mistake. That level of understanding was once thought to belong only to humans. They understand the power of silence. Sometimes it's not what we say, it's what we don't say. Your dog knows the difference between your quiet moods. They can tell when your silence is peaceful and when it's heavy. They sense tension in the air, sadness in your sigh, even frustration in the way you move. They'd probably tell you, when you go quiet, I can feel it. And that's when I stay close. Dogs don't always need words to understand. Their entire communication system is built on reading energy, posture, and expression. That's why your dog often seems to know exactly when you need them, before you even realize it yourself. That's not just loyalty. That's emotional intelligence at its purest form. They understand when you're talking to them and when you're not. Ever notice how your dog's ears perk up when you say their name, even if you're in another room? That's not luck. That's selective listening. Dogs can pick their name out of a sentence, even when surrounded by background noise or other words. They can even tell when your voice is directed at them versus when you're talking to someone else. It's why they sometimes tilt their head when you speak. They're focusing, analyzing your tone, trying to interpret what comes next. That adorable head tilt isn't confusion, it's deep concentration. They're not just hearing you, they're listening. They understand love in their own beautiful way. Dogs don't need words to understand love. They feel it in your touch, your tone, your presence. When you smile at them, their brain releases oxytocin, the same chemical released in yours. When you play with them, their heartbeat syncs with yours. When you hold them, their stress melts away, and yours often does too. In a world full of noise, dogs understand something most humans forget. Love doesn't always need to be spoken. It can be shown, felt, and lived every day. That's why your dog curls up next to you, follows you from room to room, or looks at you for no reason at all. They're saying, I get you. I love you. You're my person. They understand goodbye, but they never stop waiting. Here's something every dog owner has felt in their heart. When you leave, they know you're gone, but they also believe you'll come back. Dogs understand absence, but not abandonment. They feel your departure, but they live for your return. And that's why they wait, no matter how long it takes. They'd probably say, I don't understand where you go, but I trust you'll come back. Because you always do. That kind of trust, that deep, unwavering faith, that's what makes dogs extraordinary. They understand loyalty in a way few humans ever could. After all the studies, all the tests, and all the science, one truth stands above everything else. Dogs understand us. Not just our words, but our tone, our body language, our emotions, and our hearts. They understand our joy, our stress, our routines, and our silences. They understand love, loyalty, and patience in ways that humans are still learning. So next time you look at your dog and wonder if they really get you, the answer is yes. Maybe even more than you realize. Because dogs don't just live with us. They feel with us. They grow with us. And most of all, they understand us in ways that go far beyond words. If this video opened your eyes or made you love your dog just a little more, give it a thumbs up. It really helps this message reach more people who adore their dogs like you do. Comment below and tell me, What's one thing your dog does that makes you think, they totally understand me? I love to read your stories. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell. Until then, go give your dog some love. Because trust me, they understand every bit of it.